Tashi Delik, and welcome to the third sessions of this maths class. And today we will be learning factorizations of polynomials. On this topic, we are going to have two subtopics. So first, find a factor by using factor theorems, and the second one, finding the factor by using middle term splittings. So now let's start with the first topic. So today we are going to do factorizations of polynomials. As we have already done polynomial in first and the second sessions, so you might have got very clear on polynomials. Okay, so today we are just going to stress more on factorizations. So factorization means what? Finding the factors of any numbers, or finding the factors of any polynomials or an algebraic expression is called as factorizations. Okay, so finding the factors, so you have to know the meaning concept factor. What is meant by factors? Okay, I'm just going to get you this clear. Actually you have already done in class 6, 7 and 8, but let me clear this one and then moving towards the next topics. Okay, so see, let me clear here. For example, 30. So when I take and I just give the example 30, what are the factors of 30? How do you find the factors of 30 that you did earlier? So I'll just revise. Okay, so when you find the factors of 30, what are the factors? So many factors are there, so let me check one by one. So 2 multiplied by 15, you are getting 30, as you know all. So here 2 and 15 are the factors of 30, but still we are having a few more factors are there. And what are they? So you can just split this up also, and here you will be getting 3 multiplied by 5. So now check here, 2, 3 and 5. Can we find fathers? You cannot, because 1 is all the time the factors of all numbers, so you don't need to find it out. So here 2, 3 and 5 are the factors of 30. So when you write it down, you are writing in this way, 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5. So what are this? So 2, 3 and 5, this 3, 2, 3 and 5 are the factors, yes, factors of 30. When you divide this by 2, you will be exact getting your remainder, will be always getting zeros. So that means this one is the factor of this. When you multiply 2 by 3 by 5, it is exactly getting 30s. Understood? So this is the number. When you move towards algebraic expressions or polynomials, so let me give an example. See here, let me take here 3xy. So how do you find a factor of this? Again, we can find in this way. When you multiply 3 by x or by y, if you multiply 3 multiplied by x multiplied by y, you are exact getting this one. So what it means? 3x and y are the factors of y, are the factors, yes, factors of this polynomials or this algebraic expressions. Understood? So you can find in this way. So that is called as factors. Okay, now here we are learning factorizations of the polynomials, and you did factorizations of an algebraic expressions in class 8. You have almost done yes, few topics, means symbol method you have already done, taking out commons, regrouping the terms, and then identities you have already done in class 8. So we are going to do today middle term splitting and the factor theorem. So let me start with the factor theorems. Okay, to do the factor theorems, you have to get clear on remainder theorems. So we have already done remainder theorems in last sessions. Do you remember? And remainder theorem is mostly used to find the reminders. Find the remainder if one polynomial is divided by another polynomials. You can find the remainder easily by using remainder theorems. Okay, so let me revise that one, and so that you can define factor theorem easily. Okay, so do you remember remainder theorems? Let me give the example, simple example, x square minus 5x plus 6. So I'm going to give one example of polynomial. So here this polynomial has variable x with the degree 2, so that means this is called as quadratic polynomials. So it can represent in this way. Polynomial with variable x can represent in this. And in remainder theorem, what you used to say, find the remainder of this when this polynomial is divided by another divisor. What will be your divisor? Let's take an example. So x minus 2. If I take an example, x minus 2, so this would be your divisor. Okay, so now if you so find in remainder theorem, find the remainder if this polynomial is divided by this. So do you remember how do you find the remainders? Okay, first find this is your divisor. Let's this x taken as a divisor. You can gx, any can be. You can take divisor, can take it as this one, g and x. Okay, representing in this way. So first find the 0 of this. How do you find the zeros of this? X minus 2, which is equals to 0. So your x value is 2. This is just to revise because you have already done in last session, okay? So when you put x value 2, what will be your value of a polynomials, or what will be the remainder you are getting? So you can just put it here. When you put it 2, what is your answer? 2 whole square minus 5x plus 6. You get it? So now here 2 2s are 4 minus 5, and I'll put it here 2 plus 6. So now add this 2 up. Because these two are positive, when you add these two up, you are getting 10 minus 5 and 2 multiply, you are getting 10. So it is exact getting 0. So what it states here? So here in remainder theorem we are saying when you find a factor of zeros of this, you are getting x value 2, and if you put the value of 2 over here in this unknown, you are exact getting 0. So this is the reminders by using remainder theorems, and this will also define your factor theorem. How? In factor theorems, if remainder is zeros, if remainder means if your polynomial, so in this way, if polynomial with variable x is 0, if it is 0, then all the time this one, the divisor, this divisor is always the factor of this one. Always the factor of this one. So this is the factor of this. Understood? So see here, if your polynomial with variable x is equals to 0, then x minus 2 is the factor of this. Same here, if x minus 2 is the factor of this, then always your value will be getting zeros. Opposite to this, you can just define it this way. If it is the factor of this, means polynomial of this, then always your remainder will be getting zeros. So factor theorem is defined in this way. Understood? So now let me give. So when you write it down, what kind of questions? Sometime you will be getting questions, is gx, the polynomial is given, gx is the factor of this or not? So in the case of this, this is your divisor and this is your dividend. So now you can write it down. So here in this way, regarding factor theorems, therefore gx means what? X minus 2. Gx is a factors of, yes, okay, factors of polynomial with variable x. So this x minus 2 is the factor of this. You can get the factor in this way. Let me give another example. So this is same polynomial. You have got one factor, already got it. Let me take another factors, okay. Take for example x minus 3. Let me take x minus 3. So in case if this is your divisor, or if this is your divisor, and let's check this is your this is the factor of this polynomials or not. So let's take it not g, I'll just take it q. Let me take it as q, and this polynomial can represent as q in the bracket x. So first of all, again find the zeros of this. How do you find the zero of this? X minus 3 is equals to 0, so x is equals to 3. So now here you have to put the value of x is equals 3. So let's check here. Okay, this is done. Now come to here second. Again we are going to check here. Okay, let me put it here, second one. So same polynomial, we are going to put it here, polynomial with variable x. So x square, I'm going to take the same polynomial, minus 5x plus 6. So here if you put the value of x is equals to 3, so how much you are getting? 3 whole square minus 5, 3 plus 6. So here 3 2 times, how much you are getting 3 2 times? 3 2 times 9 minus 15 plus 6. Add up the positive one, you will be getting 15 minus 15, and it is exact getting 0. So what it states here, and we said it here, if your polynomial with variable x is equal to 0, if it is equals to 0, then all the time this one, yes, x minus any value. So right now if it is 0, then all the time this is again the factor of whom? Again the factor of this, okay, again the factors of this polynomials, main polynomial. So same here, this is the factor of this same polynomial I've taken here. So when you write it down, therefore qx is a factors of, again the factors of same polynomial with variable x. Okay, now can we get another factors? No, we cannot get any other factors, because let's see here. So in the case of this is quadratic polynomials, and quadratic polynomial has at most 2 factors. At most, sometime you may get 1. All the time you will be getting 2 factors in quadratic polynomials. Understood? So we have got 2 factors. This is the first factor and this one is the second factor. So how many factors are there? 2 factors. So what are those 2 factors? The factor of this. Okay, so you can write it down, last one. Third, x square minus 5x plus 6. So what are the factor of this? 2 factors are there. What are they? X minus 2 and the another one is x minus 3. So we can state here x minus 2 and x minus 3 are the factor of this polynomial. Factor of this polynomial. Understood? By using factor theorems. Do you get it clear? So these 2 are the factor. In quadratic you will be always having 2 factors and at most you are saying why? Because sometime you may get 1, otherwise most of the time you will be having 2 factors. Understood? So this is regarding factor theorems. Do you get it clear? And now we are moving towards next one, finding the factor by using middle term splitting. So okay, let me do this. Okay, for finding the factors by using middle term splittings. Okay, so let me give an example here. So see, 2x square minus 5x and plus 3. So how do you find the factor of this by using middle term splitting? So when you do and find a factor of this, first of all you have to multiply this 2. Okay, multiply the coefficient of x square and the constant terms. So if you multiply, you will be getting how much? 2 3s are 6. Positive 6 you are getting. Okay, and after finding out the factors, you have to find the factor of this particular numbers. So what are the factor of this particular number? 6. How do you get? What are the factor of 6? 1 multiplied by 6, you are getting 6. Is there any other factor? 2 multiplied by 3, you are getting 6. So these are the factors of 6. After getting the factor of 6, you are getting 2 numbers are there. And then see here. So here your sign is positive. If it is positive means what? You have to add up. Add up what? Add up those 2 factors. Add up those 2 factors and they get the middle one. So how do we get the middle one? When you add and get which one is the number, which one are the factors which you add and get the middle one. So check one by one. If you add up 6 and 1, do we get 5? So your middle term is 5. You are not getting 5 at all. Now check this second one. This is not getting. Now the second one, if you add up 2 factor, that is 3 and 2. If you add this 2 up, do we get 5? Yes, we are exact getting 5. So when you add up 2 and 3, you are exact getting 5. Understood? So now next you have to look at the sign. If you are adding means always you are having 2 same sign. When you have 2 same sign, then you are always adding. You have already done this in integers. And if your addition means you are having both signs same. If you are having 2 numbers, both the 2 numbers are having same sign. Either it is negative negative or you will be having positive positive. Positive positive. Understood? So in the case of this one, this is here 2 and x. So your middle term has the variable x. Both are having variable x and variable x. And what will be your sign, middle term sign? And either it is negative or positive. Which sign you have to take down? Your middle term sign is always your yes, this one. This has to take as your middle term sign. So here you are getting minus. That means both has to take minus sign. Minus 2x and minus 3x. You are splitting in this way. So when you write it down, same, just copy down this as it is, x square. Now you are going to split this into 2 parts. What 2 numbers are there? Minus 2x and minus 3x. You can write it down, minus 2x and minus 3x. And you are splitting this into 2 parts, and then as write it. You can just write this as a constant. So you can just keep on writing in this space. And after writing down this way, you have done in the algebraic expressions. Okay, you have to do the regrouping the term. How do we regroup? And these 2 can take it together, and these 2 can take it together. Now you can take out the common. How do we take a common? Here you can take the 2 commons, both are having 2, and x square and x power 1 means which one is a smaller power, you can take that one out, okay? So when you can take the power 1, and what is left? If you take out 2x common, what is left? x2 means x1 is already out, you are left with 1x. And minus 2 is already out, x is already, nothing is left means always the 1. So when you multiply, you have to get this one. So 2x multiplied by 1, you are exact getting 2x, understood? So let me take this minus sign. and now here again 3x plus 3 means you can take 3 as a common x. Okay, sometimes student may get confused over here because here positive, they are directly write it positive, so it is totally wrong. All the time this and this value has to get the same, If you are not getting same, you are getting little problem in your calculations. Okay, so now see x, how do we get positive? Negative multiplied by negative, you are getting positive, and you can write it down 3, how much you are getting? 3 ones are 3, understood? So this and this value are always having same. Okay, if you are not having same, sometimes you can write it as, okay, in exam if you are in hurry, you can write it whatever you are getting, it has to be here in this, okay, bracket. Okay, so now these two are common, write it, x minus 1 and 2x minus 3. So what are the factor? These two, x minus 1 and 2x minus 3 are the factor of this. So you can write in this way. Okay, so what are the factor of this? These two are the factor of this in case of this. And same here, if your middle term is positive, when I take it positive, same here, same, you have to multiply, same procedure you have to follow, multiply, you will get 6, and then your positive, if you multiply, you are getting positive means add it up. When you add, and they first find the factors and add and get the middle one, so 2 and 3 are the right factors, so add it up. So which sign you have to take down? The middle term sign. Your middle term is positive means both has to take positive. This is the difference. So I'll take it positive here, positive here. When I take a positive here, what is there? Same, just take a, change the sign only. There positive. Here also I'm getting positive, and now here you have to get positive means same positive, you can write it down, all are having positive. So this is again, if it is a positive, if your middle term is positive, you have to take both the sign has to take positive. If your middle term is negative, you have to take both sign negative, understood? This is regarding if your, okay, number is getting positive. And same here, if your, okay, question is getting in this way, this is the first example. Okay, now let me give another example. So see here, sometime you are getting negative. Okay, see, let me take an example. Let's see, 3x square minus x and minus 2. And this is also a quadratic polynomial, so your degree is 2 here. So here, in the case of this, if there is a negative sign, you are getting. So if you multiply this 2, how much you are getting? Positive 3, negative 2 means you will be getting negative 6. Negative 6. If it is getting negative, if you are getting negative, you have to subtract. The two numbers or two factor has to subtract and get the middle ones. Okay, so first of all, find a factor of this 6. What are the factor of 6? 6 multiplied by 1, 3 multiplied by 2. Is there any other factors of 6? No, these two are the factor of 6. Okay, so now I said it, you have got negative 6. If it is negative means you have to subtract this 2 and get the middle one. So what are the right factor? If you subtract 6, for first check here, what is your middle term? Your middle term is negative 1, so you have got it 1. How do we get 1? So see, if you subtract 6 and 1, do we get 1? No, you are not getting 1 at all. And now when you subtract 3 and 2, you are exact getting 1. So this is the right factors. Okay, you can write it down, 3x and 2x. Got it? If you subtract 3 and 2, you are exact getting 1. And here the coefficient is 1. And when you, okay, yes, multiply, you are exact getting 6. So if you multiply, you have to get it. Negative means what? When you have to, okay, subtract means you have to take one positive and one negative signs. Okay, one has to take positive, negative, and other has to sign positive. So which has to take negative and which has to take positive? It will decide by looking at your middle terms. Your middle term sign is always the greater number signs. Okay, if your middle term sign over here is minus, means which one is the greater number, greater value? So this one is greater value, you can put it minus, and here positive is there. Whichever is greater, you can take as a middle term signs. Okay, so now this 2, we are splitting up into this 2. When you subtract, you are exact getting 1. If you multiply, you are exact getting negative 6. Understood? So you can write in this way, 3x square, negative 3x, positive 2x, and negative 2. So same, next one you have to regroup the terms. Regrouping the terms, and in this case you can take out 3 common and x common, you are left with x, 1x is left, minus 3x already taken out, nothing left means what? 1 is all the time there, understood? So positive here, 2 and 2, you can take out 2 common, x minus 1 is left. So now this and these are common, so you can write it down, x minus 1 in one bracket and 3x plus 2 in another bracket. So write it down here. What are the factor of this? X minus 1 and 3x plus 2 are the factor of this. So same here, if your middle term is positive, then the greater number is positive. 3 has to take positive and 2 has to take negative. And your sign has to take according to your middle term. Middle term sign is always your greater number sign. Do you get it clear? So this is splitting the middle term, okay, finding the factor by using middle term splitting, understood? So if you are knowing this one, if you are knowing reminder or the factor theorems, then it is easy to find the factors of cubic polynomials. So let me do the cubic polynomial. How do we find the factors of cubic polynomials, okay? So I'll wrap this again and do the last part, okay? By learning middle term splitting and factor theorems, you can come to find the factors of cubic polynomials. Okay, now see cubic polynomial. Let's see, you can get a question like this. Factorize. Okay, factorize. And your, okay, this one, I'll just give it, cubic means this one. And minus 2x square minus 2x. And just give an example here. Plus 2, yes, x and plus 2. So see here. X cube minus 2x square minus x and plus 2. So this is this is the polynomials with degree 3 means it is cubic polynomials, okay? So how do you find it out? If it is cubic means if it is quadratic you will be having at most 2 factors. If it is cubic means you will be having 3 factors. So what are those 3 factors? Understood? So when you find it out this one, and same case as 30. 30 has 3 factors, 2, 3 and 15. So same here, if it is cubic you will be having 3 factors. What are those 3 factors, okay? So when you find it out, there is no divisor, nothing is given. So you have to use first trial and error methods, okay? Now when you find this one, first of all you have to use trial methods. Trial method means trial and error methods, okay? So how do you use this trial and error methods, okay? Let me represent this in polynomials with variable x and then write it down. X cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2. I'll write in this way. And now see, you can just try. If you put it 1, do we get 0? Your answer and your reminder has to get 0, then only you can move further, okay? So here, to get 0, you can just use any numbers. Let me start with the lowest number, that is 1. If you put it 1, do we get 0? If you cannot get it 0, let's move to the next one. If you put it minus 1 and check again. If you are not getting still, you can just move to the next plus 2, minus 2, just keep on going in this way, got it? So here, let me start with the 1. If you put it, the value of x equals to 1, we are going to check whether you are getting 0 or not, okay? So see here, 1 cube minus 2 and 1 square minus here 1 plus 2. So if you are putting 1, do we get it or not? So see here, 1 3 times you are getting 1. Minus 1 2 times remain 1 and here 2 ones are 2. And here minus 1 and plus 2. So now these two are positive, add these two up, 3, and these two are negative means negative can add together. So this is negative 3, how much you are getting? 0. So 0 means what is in factor theorem, what we state? In factor theorem, if it is 0 means what? 0 means the value you are putting, okay, the value you are putting is always the zeros of this. If it is a 0 means what? What are the factor? X minus 1. If it is zeros means what? X minus 1 is a factors of, yes, factors of polynomial with variable x. So still if you are confused with this, zeros and the factors are always converse to each other, so correct? So let me clear this one first. So see here, if, okay, now see if your, okay, factor, if x minus 1, I'll just clear in this way. X minus 1 is the factor of this means what? What are the zeros? What are the zero means? What is the value? What we have to put it? Value of x. So you are always writing in this 0, so your x is equals to 1. When you put the value of x is equal to 1, then it is always getting 0. So that means x minus 1 is the factor of this. So same here, if you put it value, okay, this is the 1 is the 0. You have already done in the first session. 1 is the zeros of this polynomial. If 1 is the zeros of this polynomial means what? When you shifted this back, x minus 1 is the factor of this. So same here, if you put it 1 here, x minus 1 is the factor. So same here, if you put, okay, x plus 2. If x plus 2 is the factor, so see here, how do you find a 0? 0 here. So x is equals to, put plus 2 shifting to other side, negative 2. So now see, when, okay, if you put the value of x is equals to negative 2, then means what? X plus 2 is the factor of these polynomials, got it? So it's revised to each others. So yes, so you can write in this. If you put it 1 means Opposite to that means you can just put it -1. X minus 1 is a factor of this polynomials. Okay, this is just to clear out how do we take the factor. If it is a value zeros, then the factor is always this one. Understood? Next method, that is second one, is long divisions. Long division method that you have already done in second sessions. Okay, you use long divisions by finding the reminders of any polynomials. Understood? So when you get this one, you have to get it one dividend. Which one is your dividend is already given here. So your dividend has to write it down: x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2. So after writing down your dividends, and if you are doing long division means you need one divisor. So where is your divisors? You can take this as the factor. X minus 1 is your one factor has already got it. So taking this as your divisors. Okay. So x minus 1 is taking as your divisors. So when you multiply, either you can do it directly, or if you are finding difficult, you can do it in your rough in simple way like this. Okay. See here. So which one? Okay, now when you do it, you have to keep this in standard form. So this is already in standard form. So we can start it directly. So here, this is the highest terms with degrees 3. So you can divide in the highest terms of this dividend has to divide with the highest terms of your divisor. When you divide these two, how much you are getting? 1x can get cancelled, you are left with 2x. Okay, x is to power 2 is left. So this is the number, polynomials which you have to multiply to get this one, x2. So see here, check whether you are getting or not. X square and x, do we get x3? Yes, exactly. So sometimes student can use it directly. If you are knowing well, you can do it directly. If you are finding difficult, you can do it in rough like this. Okay, so x, you have to multiply in this way. Multiply by your divisor. Divisor is x minus 1. So multiply 1 by 1. See here, x square and 1 you are getting x cube, minus x square and 1 you are getting x square. So keep this over here, x cube minus x square. Understood? So now check here. So I said it here, your job is to remove this one, highest term. So can we remove it directly? So here you cannot remove because both are having positive sign, cannot remove, you have to add it up. So you have to remove by changing the sign. And unless and until you are not changing the sign, you cannot remove. So let me change. If you are changing this sign, you have to change another sign also. So minus has to write it outside. So here no sign means always the positive sign is there. So negative, positive, negative, negative and negative will become positive. So then now you can cancel these two. What is left here? One negative, one positive. Always in integers you have to subtract and then take down the greater number sign. So which one is greater number? 2 and 1, 2. So 2, in front of 2 you are having negative sign means write down negative sign and then subtract, you are getting x square. One coefficient is always not writing, so you can write in this way. Understood? So minus x plus 2. Next one you have to remove this one. This is the highest terms of this dividend and this is the highest term. So next one, what are the number which you multiply to get this? So you can check like this, x square upon the term, highest term over here is x. So minus remains same minus. So x1 and x1 cancel, you are left with 1x. Correct? So here your second term is minus x. So minus x multiplied by x, you are getting exact minus x square. So either you can write in this way also, x minus 1. So multiply minus x square plus x. So negative, negative, positive x. So write it down here, negative x square, positive x. Again change the sign. Negative will become positive, positive will become negative, you can cancel. Now here negative, negative. If you are having both negative in integers, what you used to do? You have to add it up and take the same sign. So minus 1 here, that will become 2x and plus 2. Do you get it? And now come to the last one here, minus 2. Which one is your third term, highest term? 2x is your third highest terms and this is same your highest term over here, x. So x and x cancel, what is left? Minus 2. So minus 2 is your third term. Understood? And then come to here, multiply by x minus 1, x minus 1. What is your number? Minus 2x. Minus and minus will become plus 2. Correct? So write it down here, minus 2x and plus 2. Do you get it? So change the sign again. Plus here, negative here, you can cancel these two, you will be getting zeros. Correct? So here your remainder is 0. So remainder 0 means what? and this and these are the factor of this. So that shows that this one and this one are the factor of this. Got it? So now still we have got one factor, it is already got it. Your second factor is this, and we are having how many factors? 3 factors. Cubic means 3 factors. So we have to find one more factors. How do you find that one more factors? Okay, let me wrap this one here. So we are moving towards the last part to find the third factors. Okay, so third one, okay, by using middle term. Last method you have learned it, middle term splitting. Okay, middle term or splitting the middle term, same. So you can take which one? So this and these are the factors. So now which one is the this one is already linear. Now this is quadratic polynomials. You can split this up into 2 parts. So you can take this one. This quadratic quotient has to take down here x square minus x minus 2. As we know, we have already done in a few minutes before middle term splitting. So how do you find a factor of this? What do you need to do? First, multiply this 2. The coefficient over here is 1. Understood? So 2 ones are 2. What are the factor of this? This is negative 2. Negative 2 factor. 2 multiplied by 1. Is there any other factors? No. So only these are the factors. Okay. Now see here, if there is a negative means what? What we have learned? Subtract the 2 numbers. So what 2 number? These 2 factors. When you subtract 2 and 1, do we get 1 exact? Yes, of course. So this is the right factors. So 2x and 1x are the right factors. And I said it before, negative means you have to take 1 positive and 1 negatives. Okay. So which one has to take positive? Which one has to take negative? You have to look at the middle terms. So your middle term is negative means what? Your greater number sign is always the middle term sign. So which one is greater? And this one is greater, take it negative. And subtraction means what? Always 1 positive, 1 negative will subtract. If there is a 1 positive, 1 negative in integers, always subtract. Okay. So negative is there, so what is left? Positive is left. You can take down the positive over here. Understood? So which one? Your middle term sign is always the greater number sign. So you are splitting up in 2 parts like this. Understood? So now see here, x square, which one is your middle term? Minus 2x and plus 1x minus 2. And the next step is regrouping the term. How do we regroup? These 2 together, these 2 together. Understood? So now let me take this as your common, x minus 2 in one bracket plus 2 and 1x minus 2 means there is no common means what? 1 is always the common of all the numbers. So taking 1 as a common, x minus 2. So here these and these are same exactly common, write it in one bracket. So the remaining, what is remaining? So x minus 1 in another bracket. So what are the factors? So in this quadratic polynomial you are having 2 factors. We have already got, by using this trial and error method, you have already got 1 factors, and your second and third factor is got it from here itself. So we have got 3 factors. Therefore, first factor x minus 1. X minus 1, your second factor x plus 1 and x minus 2 are the factors of factors of polynomial with variable x. You are not going to write whole things, you can write in this way, polynomial with variable x. Okay, with this we end up with these topics, and try your best to go through it clearly, and then try your best to do few exercises from your text. And if you are having any doubt and any questions, let me know so that I'll try my best to clear out your doubt. Thank you.